Hey, good people. I just wanted to show off my earrings that are really bringing me a lot of pain right now. They're clip-ons, but aren't they cute? Aren't they cute? That's what you do sometimes for style. But again, this is Ryan Jenkins with another book talk for you. Within the last couple of weeks, I finished about 2 books. If you go to my IG series or go to my YouTube page, you will see the last 2 book talks that I did on The Unteachables by Gordon Corman. And the last one was Cami Garcia's Raven, which is based on Teen Titans. Books that I am reading now. The first book that I'm reading now, I am a Jason Reynolds fan. Y'all should know that. I want to say I have multiple posts on here by Jason Reynolds, and he has a book called Look Both Ways. This book has been out for a minute, and the reason what made me want to go ahead and read it first is and go ahead and read it now is on my son's summer reading list, and I am determined that I'm going to read this first so I can make sure that he's reading it and understanding it and be able to share with him and talk to him about the book. It reminds me of Walter Dean Myers, and I cannot remember the name of it, but he has at least 2 books where it's an anthology of short stories and is based on people who lived on the block. Because I remember one of the stories, this man planned his funeral, and he wanted his funeral to happen before he actually died. He was dying of cancer. So basically, and again, it says the tale told in 10 blocks. So I love it. Jason Reynolds is a great storyteller. I'm on chapter 2 right now. Basically, you find out, I'm in chapter 2, where basically you have these 4 people who hang out together, and you realize that they steal not because they're greedy, they steal because they need. Okay, so and then you have the 2 unlikely relationship between these 2 best friends, and one of the best friends is going through a horrible sickness, and she just came back from school, but it explores the dynamics of their relationship. And again, I don't think I've read anything by Jason Reynolds that I did not like, so I'm currently reading that. I finally started on The Come Up. I've had this book for a year. But one thing, if you know anything about Angie Thomas, I never thought about this before, but I remember her and Nick Stone were talking on IG live, and they mentioned Nick Stone made the comment that Angie Thomas writes, in my language, a butt of a book. She writes long books. Her books are at least 300 to 400 pages. So I remember The Hate You Give. It was a good book, but it took me a minute. Same thing on The Come Up, was the same page length, but on The Come Up, it took me a while to realize this because I just jumped into it. I didn't read it. I didn't preview it or anything. I just knew it was going to be a good book because I love The Hate You Give, so I got on The Come Up. On The Come Up, you have Bree, who is a rapper. Her father was a rapper, and her father was killed. And ever since the father was killed, the mom, because the father was killed, the mom was introduced in the midst of her grief and her mourning to drugs. Mom was on drugs really bad, so as a result, she lost custody of Bree and her older brother. They had to live with her maternal grandparents, who were very holy rollers. And basically, she now has custody of the kids, and has for a while now, but she struggles financially. She struggles financially. So, and then on top of that, the brother, who was an astute student, excellent performer, great actor, things didn't work out for him after college. He's back home helping his mom out. So Bree is determined, not only am I going to rap, but I'm going to survive in this game, and I am going to bring my mom out of poverty and live a better life. So Bree is in the process of trying to establish her career thanks to her aunt and recording the demo. But in the demo, Bree has some lyrics to a song that makes it seem like something that she's really not. And honestly, if you knew her and you understood, you realize she's like those security officers. She's shipped out to this magnet school, and she really doesn't want to be there. Doesn't feel like she belongs, but her mom is determined, you're not going to the school in the area because it's not the best school in the area. But the cops are known for being very discriminatory. They racial profile the kids that come from the other side of the tracks. And Bree one day, the alarm doesn't go off when she goes through the metal detector, the gun detector, and they still make her go back. Now, granted, Bree was in the wrong because Bree had some stuff she shouldn't have. Okay? And it would get her in trouble, they would have found it. But the reality is they really had no right to be suspicious of her in the first place. They were just picking on her. And as a result, the cops are investigated. The security guards are investigated, and they're not let go, but put on investigation. I guess put on administrative leave. The student body is coming against Bree because they feel like these people have been suspended unjustifiably. The black kids who have been profiled by these security officers are like, we glad you did what you did. Are you willing to step up and make sure it doesn't happen? But when the song, she hasn't dropped it yet, people have heard the song, they think it sounds like Bree did something that Bree didn't really do. But in reality, if you listen to the lyrics, Bree is just saying, this is what you want to think of me, so I want you to go ahead and think that of me. Go ahead and think I did this. Go ahead and think I'm doing this. Go ahead and think I'm a drug dealer. So it's like, number one, is she going to drop this song? But the reality is she's been told this song is a guaranteed hit. Then she finds herself in the company of her father's former manager. And the manager, the mom, and I might be wrong, I feel like the mom feels like the manager had something to do with the father's death. Her father was well-known royalty, good rapper in the hood. I don't know if he was on the come up, but I do know he was well known, and they basically look at her like she's a prodigy of a father. And I know some of you like, well, she has so much to say about on the come up, but she didn't say that much about, Look Both Ways. Look Both Ways, I'm maybe like, I'm 23 pages in. On the come up, I'm at least 200 pages in. Okay? But Angie Thomas, you can't go wrong. Jason Reynolds, you can't go wrong. But on the come up, I'm really loving the dynamic between Bree and her two best friends. Why I can't remember their names right now, I can't. But I know one, he has not completely come out the closet with certain people. Bree knows he's gay. He's homosexual. And then the other one, Bree is starting to have a crush on. But then she realizes that he may be crushing on someone else. But she's never told him how she feels. Which I'm still mad at Bree. Like, go ahead and just say something. Because one day he invited her to lunch. And she's thinking, oh, he's inviting me to lunch. And then this girl comes along with him. And she feels some type of way about that. And I'm like, just you got to tell. He don't know. Boys, some boys don't get it. They don't see it. Some grown men don't get it. So Angie Thomas, she has a new one coming out. And I don't want to fall behind. Between her and Nick Stone, I need to catch up on all the books they have written in the past year or so. Nick Stone has released at least 5 books, I feel like, in the last year or two. So I have to pick up one of hers within the next week or so. But I'm just telling you right now, you can't go wrong with Jason Reynolds. Look Both Ways. I know if you're at Ridgeview, that is on your reading list. And I want to say they sent you electronic form so you can read it online. Angie Stone on the come up. Love it. Love it. They're great, awesome storytellers. So happy reading.